Hey man, say man, welcome to Members Only. Tonight we heading back to Memphis because I'm a little disappointed in y'all, man. My last video I did on Memphis, on the Bovins family, y'all ain't really messed with it like that, man. So y'all need to go back and show love to that video. But tonight, we already know, man, it's gonna be a good one, man. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on so you don't miss out on the fire. And get the likes up. Get the likes up through the door, man. Show love. And hit me up in the comments, don't be a stranger. Now, tonight we're gonna talk about Rodney Woods. In Memphis, you had a lot of organizations getting to $1, man. And you know, by your last name, you're identified. So coming up, your last name determines if you're respected or not. Dudes ain't running up with your spots if your last name is heavy. And if you did, you're introduced to the machine gun crew. The Woods family was well respected in Memphis, but not just Memphis, all around the country, from doing good business and their machine gun action. See, Rodney Woods' come up was all about a flip. He became Mr. Untouchable for just simply doing his homework, being at the right places at the right time. It also was so many of those guys out there getting money that law enforcement didn't know who was the man. And of course, early on, he's done some light bids. I think in 93 and 94, he had to sit. But law enforcement couldn't knock him for what they wanted him for. He watched guys come and go throughout the years. He was just that slick, making adjustments while his competitors fall. It was popping on the corner of Bellevue and Parkway. You could see his Lamborghini around there pretty often. Yes, he had that Lamborghini that he paid straight cash for. That machine flying around the city, man, it was turning heads. NBA players couldn't even afford to drive that type of whip, man. But the two last names we will forever hear is the Bovins and the Woods family. The Memphis Mob is generational. They breed hustlers. It's too many of them out here. One popular hangout was South Memphis Grocery. At one point, Rodney Woods was so powerful that he could push a button and get you touched anywhere in the US. A lot of people don't know that the Memphis Mob stretches all the way to Cali. Now, Rodney, he had an understanding that money never sleeps, so his crack houses were 24/7. Stay as long as you want. Workers were playing cards with the smokers. Slumber parties at the crack house was a real thing. He had a spot that was a gold mine, and it kept getting raided, but he couldn't shut it down, man. He couldn't keep it closed. It was just popping. When they boarded it up, it was hundreds of fiends waiting outside like a concert. So they opened up right across the street. They had to get things rocking. See, we all talk about gangsters selling drugs. How many sold alcohol? I know we got guys from back in the day, like Bumpy Johnson and all those mobsters, all those gangsters like running through speakeasies, but in the 80s, Woods had another avenue to pour in some money. He began making good investments with that street money. He built a club in Hickory Hill called the Martini Room. He took notes and watched guys that was doing it on a high level, the Danny Owens of the game, the name that you rarely hear. Big names stumbled through the doors of that club. $100,000 dice games went on in the back of that club with some heavy hitters. I'm talking all night, just money poured in. Guys was bringing in trash bags full of money to bet at that dice game. Man, it was official. He also had a car wash that was pretty popular. Ryan passed his car wash, it was like a car show. Seeing all types of foreigners you never saw before. At this time, you didn't have Instagram, man. You saw straight out of a magazine. All the ballers used to slide through to get their car washed, from dope boys to athletes to entertainers to pimps. He conducted a lot of business, but with his legal business revenue, he didn't have to step foot back into the streets. You can't serve two masters, and that mistake is made by a lot of men. He had plenty of chances to walk away. He was just in love with the game and being on top. Are you winning for the money, or are you winning for the crown? Because it got to a point where it wasn't about the cash. He had so much of it, he didn't even know where to put it. But in his eyes, he was the king, and he wasn't planning on going anywhere. See, as you read the indictments and look into his cases, you will see that he was getting amazing deals. He had good lawyers and everything. Of course, he was paying top dollar. But the thing that worked it out was his political connects. When you're at the top, you have to throw money around and be a part of those parties. Take off the gold chains and the minks. Make $100,000 contribution every now and then. Throw on a suit, have a drink. Sit there with those guys in those suits, man. But in 2019, he would be indicted along with his two brothers. The bail was set to $2 million. Now, he was hit with the intent to sell, some gun charges, and money laundering. So they hit him with those charges, man. But being in the game at the age of 50 and 60, like, how could you even have the strength to do the time? Like, even if you get hit with 10 years at that age, that's still insane. Okay, you do the 10 years and then you just come home. It's like, what are you gonna do now? Like, like, time is ticking. And like, why is he in? It's like, there's a lot of questions that I have, man. Why are you in the game still? Like, what's going on? Like, you're the OG. Don't you have some young boys you can get that from? Like, y'all name ring all through Memphis. I know times is different, but being caught in that type of indictment, that's like, man, I don't really know what to say, because it's like, these young bulls, man, you doing business with young bulls. It's like you're not moving like a boss. You're getting caught with the work. Like, it was like a 7-month investigation, man. Like, you already know they breed different hustlers nowadays, man. Like, they breed different hustlers. These dudes are taught just to get themselves out of the jam, and then they'll jump right back in the streets. Like, they messing up the game. The game is messed up. It's not the same. So, like, reading the paperwork, it just had desperate times written all over it. And like, come on now, at that age, you should have like a business or a club or something, man. That's what you doing now. That's like equivalent to just going on the corner. Like, if you was a big time hustler and if you was a big time heavyweight back in the day, in today's time, like 30 years from your run, you shouldn't be anywhere near the drugs. You shouldn't be in a room conducting a drug deal. That just doesn't make sense. That's moving backwards. And times are different. Like, you got guys with all this work on the street, and that's like, it's hard to get rid of. They can't even get rid of it. Like, they got just work just sitting. Like, it's not moving how it used to be. Like, back in the day, you had fiends getting those government checks, like government assistance, like welfare. They used to give them cash, like on the 1st or the 15th. Now you just got food stamps. They stopped that cash. And even if they are getting cash, it's not as much as they used to get. So, man, these guys, you got hustlers out here broke. So, like, in 2019, like, there's a couple guys getting it, but it's not like it used to. Like, back in the day, you can get rich off a block. Now, and it's like, it's a different hustle now, man. Like, I know he tried to dibble and dabble. I did see some pills. They said some ecstasy. The pill game's strong. The weed game's strong. Weed is legal. But to go out like that, it's kind of sad, though, man. Like, it don't put a stain on your legacy, but it kind of questions your intelligence. And we understand that at that age, times is hard. Like, you got old heads that's in the game. Like, when you're used to being a boss, it's hard to get a job. You can't go work at Walmart. You can't go be a bus driver. Like, it's guys that's seeing you, like, yo, back in the day, he was the shit. Yeah, he was the shit back in the day. He fell off. A lot of people don't like that. So that forced people to take those type of risks. But that's it for the night, y'all. Don't forget to hop in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me. Share this video. Show love. Watch my last couple videos. And you already know, man, we're going to keep the ball rolling. And that's it for the night. I'm out.